and picked up groceries, and the person handed me this as they were unloading the groceries. And I will tell you, my initial thought was, don't take it, don't take it. But here's the problem. In the past, I got one of these and it actually had some really good samples and coupons in it. And so I couldn't resist. I took the bag, and worse yet, there was another bag inside the bag. What are they doing to me? Well, hi, I'm Dawn from The Minimal Mom. If we haven't met before, I'm married to Tom, AKA Just In Case. That video last week was one of my absolute favorites. So if you didn't catch it, I will link to that down below. We also have 4 kids, ages 7 through 12. And if I'm gonna be honest, they're a huge part of the clutter that creeps into our house, but we're gonna get to that. So I thought today we could go around the different areas of our house, talk about the types of clutter that creeps in, and also the 2 main ways that we can stop it. And you can probably begin to imagine what those are. Number 1 is to stop stuff from coming in the first place, and then number 2 is to have a steady stream of stuff going back out again. And so again, let's just kind of go through some different areas. All right, so here in the entryway, like I said, reusable bags. I don't know why. I know that I can only use so many, but yet it's like, oh, it's such a cute size. Like, would I put someone's lunch in it, use it as a gift bag? Well, it says Walmart. I probably use it as a gift bag, but you know, if I have to send something to someone, send something home with someone, I could put it in here. We're creative people, right? We will think of 100 different ways to use something like this. And so, like I said, I even had the thought, don't take the bag, Dawn, don't take it. But in the back of my mind, I'm like, what if there's good samples inside of it? And so, number 1, keep it from coming in. I shouldn't have accepted the bag in the first place. How about mail that comes into the house? I have to not even read it, because otherwise I read it and I'm like, oh, maybe we do need custom blinds for our house. I don't know. And it's things I was not even thinking about and they come in. And so this needs to get recycled right away and not even waste my time on it. Okay, so let's move in a little further into the house now. Okay, this is funny because the first thing I just saw when I opened this was the cream corn. So some of you will remember the cream corn saga. I was placing all the Instacart orders and I didn't realize I was ordering cream corn. And so I ended up with a bunch of cans of this. And so you were also kind to send some recipes, and one of them is to make cornbread with it. So I was going back and forth, do I just donate the cream corn? I actually got the cornbread to make it. We still haven't made it. So it was literally like just sitting here. This is a perfect example though. Sometimes we get stuff, we accidentally order it, we see it at the store and we're like, oh, I really want to try out the chicken stuffing mix. It looks really good. And then we try it, it's not good, or we just never get around to using it because I don't usually use chicken stuffing mix. I don't know. But we end up with clutter in our kitchen cabinets too. We get jars, we get disposable water bottles, all these different things creep in. And so here's the biggest thing though. What keeps us from moving these things back out of our house? Usually it is the money that I spent on it. I'm a very frugal person. I grew up modestly. We don't waste stuff. But here's what I have had to realize and remind myself over the last handful of years. The commodity that I'm worried about wasting now is time, not money. Don't get me wrong, we don't have tons of extra money floating around where I can just buy something and then donate it. That's not what I'm saying at all. But what I am saying is that I have had to recognize that this takes time and energy to manage. I have to learn a new recipe now to use it. I'm hoping it's gonna be really good because you all said it was. But do I have that kind of time right now? Would I rather waste the 59 cents on the can of corn, or the time now that it's gonna take to, again, learn a new recipe, find a way to use it, continue to shuffle it around here? And the other commodity is peace of mind. I have been so aware now, as we have simplified our home, the impact of this stuff on my mood and how I feel mentally in our home. Like, do I feel like, hey, things are under control? It feels good to be home. It's a restful and relaxing place to be. I feel recharged when I'm at home. Or does it feel like stressful and like, oh my goodness, why is the kitchen always a mess? Why can't I stay on top of it? Why am I always wasting food? Why don't I want to cook at night? A lot of that has to do with the amount of inventory in our home. And I realized that I personally, the season we're in right now, I can't manage a lot of inventory. And so what that looks like then, if something mistakenly comes into our home, whether I intentionally invited it or not, is that I have to be willing to move this out. Again, really willing to risk a little bit of my money commodity to preserve my time and peace of mind commodities. And so again, I'm having to promote those two things over the corn. So you have to choose that for you. But for myself, with the current season we're in, I am being much more willing to let this stuff go. We are gonna try the cornbread because Adeline can make it and I know she will. But more often than not now, when I recognize these things, and how do we recognize them? It's been sitting in there for months. You keep pushing it to the back. You forget that it's in there. Let those be clear signs that it's time to let those things go. Speaking of clutter creep, let's talk about books. Today's video is sponsored by Blinkist, and it is a great way to prevent extra books, especially books on decluttering, from cluttering up your house. And so I've actually been listening to Let It Go by Peter Walsh. I'll list all my favorite books down below because this is so good. But what Blinkist does is they take thousands of nonfiction books and they boil it down to all of the main points, or blinks. And you can either listen to them, like I was listening to these while I was getting ready, or you can read them. And Peter Walsh says in his book, often this clutter holds us back. It actually keeps us from feeling like we can pursue new opportunities. And none of us want that. So I have, like in my library, I have Atomic Habits and the 5-Second Rule and Let It Go and the Minimalist Home. And I just noticed the Less of More is on here as well. There are so many awesome books that can help you declutter your house. They can help you get habits in place. They can help you advance in your career. They can help you be a better wife, a better mom, a better person. And I really feel like it's been the culmination of so many of these ideas together that have really helped me to feel successful with decluttering and habits and doing the things that I say that I'm gonna do. So I'm gonna put a link down below where you can try out Blinkist for 7 days completely free. I'll have that list of all my favorite books too. You might wanna start with some of those. And then you'll also get 25% off a premium membership as well. All right, let's talk a little bit about clothing, and then we gotta make a pass through the bathroom as well. So the girls and I were actually at a thrift store last week and we ran into Deb, and it was so great. And she said, I have to limit my trips to the thrift store to about once a month, otherwise I'm tempted to bring extra stuff in, right? And I was like, amen, sister. I love thrift stores. I grew up on everything secondhand, and I know myself now, and there's still times when I'm tempted by things to buy, even if I don't necessarily need it. I don't know for sure where I'll put it in my house, but it's just cute and it's inexpensive and I'm just tempted to buy it. So I know myself. And so again, in regards to preventing stuff from coming in, I know, like Deb, to limit my trips to the thrift store. Also, if you ever see us out in public, we love it if you come and say hi. It's so fun to be able to get to visit a little bit. So just so you know, if we ever run into each other at the thrift store or Aldi or wherever. But here's the other thing I'm having to realize. So I was there with Maggie and Adeline was trying on clothes. She's 12. She found some super cute things, by the way. But I was finding things for her and I'm like, oh my goodness, this is so cute. You should try this on. And she like would look at me like, meh. And in the past, I would be kind of like, no, seriously, get it, or I'll buy it for you, don't worry. And then what happens? That stuff just sits in their drawers and it never gets worn. And so I've had to even adjust my own expectations of what I get for them and really be aware now, like they have their own opinions, they're of ages where they are more selective and everything. Not that I don't once in a while still have veto power, but mostly I've had to really lay those down and be like, just because it's $1 or $3, don't buy it, right? Because it's not gonna get worn and then it just ends up getting decluttered again. And so I really had to adjust, again, thinking about stuff that's coming in, how I look at that type of stuff and being willing to let them have their own opinions. Okay, let's talk about bathroom stuff. So again, preventing stuff from coming in. A huge thing for me has been to remind myself that there are no miracle products. I'll just be honest. I get a little annoyed by influencers who are like, oh my goodness, this is the best thing in the whole entire world and it totally transforms my hair and I have super thin hair and now I have all this volume because I use this one product, blah, 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 right? And then I get it and I pay the $35 and I use it and it doesn't work and then I use it again and I'm like, it still doesn't work. What am I doing wrong? Is there something wrong with me? Is there something wrong with my hair? And then I'm like, oh, what if maybe there just aren't any miracle products? And all this marketing and all this influencing leads us to believe that if we just get the face cream and the hair serum and the volumizing mousse that it's gonna solve all of our problems. But what if that's not actually true? So I have to continually remind myself, again, to prevent extra stuff from coming in, especially bathroom products, hair, makeup, skin, all that kind of stuff, even cleaning products. There are no miracle products. I did this reel a little bit while back on this, and people were like, your skin looks amazing. Like, what skincare do you use? And I was like, well, one, my phone puts a filter on that. I don't use filters on Instagram, but my phone puts a filter on that I cannot prevent. And what I had done about a week and a half prior was committed to using the skincare system that I had and actually washing my face every single day and doing the toner and moisturizer. I don't think it was the actual system that made the difference. I think it was just the fact that I was doing it every single day. And my friend Shanna said, the magic is in the motion, not in the potion. So if we would just use the stuff we have, if we put it into motion, the cleaning supplies, the hair products, then we would start to see results. The magic is in the motion, not in the potion. All right, let's talk about kids' artwork and homeschool supplies. This can apply to like office supplies, all that kind of stuff that creeps in. Our kids are super creative. I love all the stuff they create, but I've had to realize that I can't manage a lot of inventory in that area. But I also don't want to raise them to believe that every single thing they create deserves to be archived. Like, that's not realistic, right? And I want them to have skills moving into the future where we say we can always keep the most special stuff, but we don't keep everything, because if we keep everything, then nothing's special, right? And so this is kind of the area where we keep craft supplies, the boys keep their creations, the girls' desk is here where they keep their stuff, but it always all has to fit into here. So very often they just clean this up, so there's not many like projects floating around right now, but often there are creations made out of recycling and different things floating around here. We keep it for a few days. After a few days, it's not really special anymore, and then it goes to the garbage or recycling. I keep the most special artwork, I put it in my memory bin, and then the other stuff, we keep it for a few days and then it goes in the recycling. And no one has hard feelings about it. Again, it's this idea that we always keep the most special stuff. Also, for homeschooling supplies, I know many of you asked for like tips and curriculums and all that on homeschooling. By the fall, I will do that, but again, I still don't feel super qualified. But here's what I realized with homeschooling. If we have lots of inventory, I feel overwhelmed. I don't like homeschooling. I don't use it. I feel wasteful. I feel guilty. And so I have had to keep our homeschooling curriculum inventory so low in order to feel at all successful at homeschooling. And so I have gotten curriculums, I have paid money for them, only to try it for a week, turn around and donate it. And so I've really had to extend myself a lot of grace to realize that there's just trial and error often with picking curriculums. Also, I know the question will come up, these bins are all from Marshall's about 2 years ago, so there you go. One final thought as we wrap this up, I always want to be a human being first and a minimalist second. I remember one time, Diane and I used to work in radio, and it was a Christian station, so we'd do fundraisers, share-a-thons, worst 6 days of the year, right? But we would have volunteers come in and sit in the phone room. And so there was this volunteer in there, Peggy, and she would crochet dishcloths while she was sitting in there. And I remember her walking into the studio. We had just finished up a segment, and she offered myself and my co-host at the time a dishcloth that she had crocheted. And I was like, oh, Peggy, that's so cool, thank you. And the other gentleman said, you know, I'm gonna have to decline. My wife and I are, you know, being really aware of what comes into the house. And, you know, in all fairness, they were getting towards retirement age, so they were probably maybe a little more aware of that. But I will never forget the look of rejection on her face when he turned down her gift. And I just like, well, honestly, I thought, you are heartless, man, right? I was like, it's a dishcloth, like who cares, you know? And so again, I always want to balance what's coming into our house. I don't want to take stuff, you know, just to take stuff or stuff that I'm gonna have to throw away. But if somebody gives me a gift, if it's something they've made, if it's something they've put a lot of thought into, I still will always receive it and accept it graciously, because how kind of them to think of me in that way. And then if I need to find a way to later, you know, move it on out of my house, I will do that. So it's definitely not, you know, black and white and we just don't let anything extra into our house anymore or anything like that. But we have gotten pretty good at also ushering it back out again, and just really remembering that stuff is stuff, and the most important thing is the people and the relationships, not the stuff. So I hope this helps a little bit. I would love to know, like, what are your mindsets? What things do you keep in mind? Or is there anything recently you have brought into your house that you just like completely regret? If you would share share that too. Again, it just humanizes us all, and we don't have to be so hard on ourselves when we realize we're not the only ones. I'll also link to that video about just in case down below, because again, I just thought that was so fun. So I'll put that down below as well. But I love you. I hope that you have a great day, and I'll see you again soon.